Also, Einladungsereignis Lynette. Wir legen wieder los bei Entscheidungen und wir müssen sie jetzt überreden, um hier runterzukommen. Wir müssen irgendwas auswählen. Erstmal Skip Nation. Und wir müssen sie jetzt irgendwie überreden. Kann man auch bis zur nächsten... Das ist jetzt direkt übersprungen. Oh, tatsächlich. Ich denke, du solltest Bonnie helfen. Ja. Well, das war die falsche Auswahl. Verdammt. Well. Macht auch Sinn jetzt, wo ich so drüber nachdenke. Wir haben das Schicksal entscheiden lassen. Und es kam ja schon das. Skip. Ich denke, du sollst zur Empfangsfeier zurückgehen. So, das müsste neu sein. Wenn du wirklich nicht gehen willst, dann kannst du einfach...
Nope, I said it was your decision. I'm not gonna waste any more energy dragging my feet. Besides, the drinks reception is technically part of the job as an official publicity event. So, if I bail on it...
Ich vermute mal, du bist in Story-Mode rein, Robert. Da gibt's keinen Loot. Da droppen die die Monster nichts. Wirst du dich später schlecht fühlen?
I might get sued for breach of contract, and that would be a huge pain in the butt. One other thing. Do you want to come with me? If you're free, I mean.
Das Buch ist ein Drop, ja. Wahrscheinlich ein Quest-Item für die Quest. Ja.
Thanks.
Ja. Gern geschehen. Gut. Ah ja, das ist jetzt neu. Maske. Let's go. Nice, Toscha. 550 Mio für den Stand plus 16. RIP.
There you are, Lynette. Where did you disappear to? Leone and I have been looking everywhere for you. Wait, where did you get the cat?
Chat, das sind Anime-Made Twins.
Do either of you happen to recognize her?
I don't think so. Could belong to one of the guests, I suppose.
Jackpot? Fragezeichen?
Fair enough. It was a long shot.
So sorry we couldn't help you, Lynette.
Don't worry. We'll ask around for you. Leone's probably just being forgetful.
Maybe you could leave her with us. We'll take her to the reception desk and see if they know anything. And if not, we'll just keep looking.
Sure. I would help, but I'm a little preoccupied. Sorry to dump this on you.
It's no trouble at all. We're happy to help however we can.
Also, if it's no trouble, I mean, could we maybe get an autograph? And maybe a photo too?
Fangirls.
Leone, you can't spring that on her now. Not while she's working. At least wait until the event's finished. One last thing, Lynette. Director Mariu's looking for you. We'll take the cat to the front desk now. See you later.
Later. Du scheinst sehr beliebt zu sein.
I'm not usually required at these kinds of events, so I don't even have an event mode. Alright, guess I'd better go see the director.
Ugh.
Spectacular choreography, a masterpiece of mise-en-scène, and the performance, oh my, groundbreaking, dripping with, je ne sais quoi. My congratulations on another magnificent show, sir.
Yes, I, for one, was particularly captivated by the clearly allegorical narrative undertones. The Lost Puppet shines a spotlight on the impact of technological advances in our modern society, particularly as they relate to changing modes of emotional expression and the challenge of mutual intelligibility. Such a pioneering work, so far ahead of its time. A tour de force of avant-garde theater.
I can already see the headlines of tomorrow's newspapers. They will certainly be singing your praise, Director Mariu.
Aber 6,75 ist doch ein geringer Preis, Sky Mansion, wenn man bedenkt, dass die mal 80 oder so gekostet hat, oder nicht?
But it was a group effort, of course, to convey emotions in a silent
Something
show
like
with
that.
no facial expressions. The entire cast had to go above and beyond. Everyone truly outdid themselves.
Speaking of the cast, Jillian, another strong performance from you in Director Mariu's latest show, as of course we've all come to expect from your numerous successful collaborations to date.
That's quite an overstatement. I've only ever played supporting roles.
On that point, you stated a few months ago in an interview that you were looking to secure a leading role in your next show. What led you to the decision to stay in a supporting role this time around?
We had a discussion about this, and while Lynette hadn't previously performed in an acting role, we were blown away by her talent, and she was a perfect fit for this character.
Die war davor schon bei 30. Na ja, gut, aber wenn sie jeder dreimal im Deck hat und manche Leute sie vielleicht sogar öfter gebunkert haben, einfach nur für Future Decks oder so. Gibt bestimmt Leute, die haben 9, 10, 12 Decks oder so. Na gut, so viel vielleicht nicht, aber du weißt, was ich meine.
Quite simply, this was the role she was born to play.
Exactly. I was honored to share the stage with her. Lynette worked extremely hard in all of the rehearsals, and she's an incredibly talented actress.
Oh, Lynette's back!
Hey, Lynette, where have you been?
Are you in standby mode? Some reports say you switched that state to recharge after a show.
Ah, method acting, of course. Such a compelling portrayal of a mechanical puppet could only be achieved by an actor who lives and breathes their role even while offstage.
Ja, dann musst du ja, da weißt du, was du tun musst, Sky Mansion. In jedes Deck dreimal Triple-Taktik. Also brauchst du noch 10 weitere Kopien. 100, meine ich.
Those seemingly stilted movements were in fact an inspired portrayal of the character. The ostensibly bad acting, in reality, was the product of supreme acting skill.
Oh, I went outside and there was this cat there, so I played with the cat for a bit.
A cat? We've long heard that you are a kind soul, as well as an incredible actress. No wonder your debut performance has garnered such popularity.
This show looks on track to break box office records for avant-garde theater. Lynette, any words for the fans?
Gute Nacht, Steffen. Hau rein. Danke fürs Zuschauen.
Not really, no.
I believe Lynette is trying to say that the act of performance itself is the actor's true means of connecting with their fans.
Oh, I see. Lynette, any comments?
Ihr legt dir einfach nur irgendwelche Worte in den Mund.
Exactly.
But don't you want the fans to know how you're feeling right now after the hugely successful opening of your first ever show?
That's true.
I'm sure the fans would love to learn a bit more about you too.
How interesting.
Nett beobachten, um zu sehen, wie es ihr geht. 10. Oh mein Gott. Jetzt haben wir die Nett umgebracht. Jetzt stirbt sie einfach. Alle Antworten der Netz klingen ruhig. Es scheint ihr gut zu gehen.
Lynette, how do you find acting compares with performing in a magic show?
What does the future hold for you, Lynette?
Sie wird von Fragen überhäuft. Nach langem Warten zerstreut sich die Menge. Geht es dir noch in Ordnung? Geht es dir noch in Ordnung, Bro?
Turns out I can't cope with this stuff even in Tea Party mode.
Teegesellschaftsmodus?
It's a power-saving mode for participating in conversation at tea parties. Normally, I can get through an entire conversation just with, Oh, that's true. And how interesting. But at a
That's
tea
true.
party, I'm not normally subjected to a constant stream of questions. The energy consumption of that interview just now was 3 times as much as the average tea party.
Also eine große Umstellung, nimm dir etwas Zeit, vielleicht gewöhnst du dich nach einigen Interviews daran.
I think I'd rather pray that I never have to do it again.
True.
Lynette, Director Mariu would like you to join the group photo to commemorate the successful opening of the show.
A group photo?
It's just the members of the troupe, along with Maloney and Corentin. Everyone's waiting for you.
Alright then. See you in a minute.
Later.
3, 2, 1, smile.
Da schon die Fragen jetzt mich, das Foto zu
Each
machen.
and every one of you here for your help in making The Lost Puppet a success. The group photo is already being printed as I speak. You can collect your copy from the first floor after the drinks reception concludes. May it serve as a reminder of this fabulous performance every time you see it.
Mariu! Get over here. Let's have another drink. There's a few things I need you to glance over for me.
Die Haare von dem sehen so fake und falsch aus. Damn. Warte, das heißt, die Empfangsfeier ist immer noch nicht vorüber?
I thought the group photo was the final hurdle. Well, at least there's no more people hounding me with questions. I just need to find somewhere to switch to standby mode, and the time will fly by. I hope.
Hey. She really hates people. She's just like me for real. Ist das Linny? Nee, Farina.
Is as wonderfully sweet as ever.
Du hast es auch geschafft, eine Einladung zur Empfangsfeier zu bekommen.
Traveler? Lynette? Oh, wait, hold on. What do you mean, managed to get an invite? I'm an expert in the dramatic arts. Of course I was invited. Naturally, people wanted to hear my comments on the emerging art form that is the masked mime show.
Was denkst du darüber?
Remarkable, and a very worthwhile artistic endeavor. Exploring a character with no lines or facial expressions who can only communicate how they feel through their movement. Your performance was beyond anything I could have imagined, Lynette. Clearly, this was a very suitable role for you indeed.
Sie musste ja nicht schauspielern dafür. Du scheinst etwas zu hören. Beim genaueren Hinhören vernimmst du ein leises Geräusch, das aus der hinteren Ecke dringt.
Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. Please go on.
Oh, basically, I think I'd give it a positive review overall. Just not as gushing as the crowd downstairs.
So, you thought they were pretty over the top too?
In fairness, it's normal to bring along some vocal supporters for publicity when a new show opens, but still, this was something else. Then again, I'm no specialist in avant-garde theater. Maybe I'm just not well acquainted with their review criteria. Or
Gute Nacht,
maybe
Sky
it's
Mansion.
because I came to the show with some preconceived expectations. I did happen to see the original draft of Mariu's script a while back.
What original draft?
Oh? He didn't show it to you? It must have been a few months ago. He came to me to get some advice from an experienced performer's perspective, and then asked if I could write a few reviews of his new play. I had a lot on my plate at the time, so I had to turn him down. I only skimmed a few sections, but they seemed quite different from the final version. I can't say I remember the plot, but I don't know. The protagonist just seemed more complex, I guess, especially in the last 2 scenes. Still a mechanical puppet on the outside, of course, but she seemed to have more emotional depth on the inside.
Emotional depth?
Oh, I'm just thinking aloud here. Don't take it to heart. Besides, a script and a play are 2 very different beasts. There are so many fine details to consider when turning a story into a stage production. More than most people could imagine. especially with a novel art form like a masked mime show. I'm sure Maryu had his reasons for the changes he made. Change of topic. I see you've escaped the crowds to seek refuge on the second floor. Fame can be overwhelming at first, can't it? Perhaps you'd benefit from hearing about the experiences of a veteran celebrity such as myself.
No thanks, I'm good. Pretty sure this will be my first and last time in this situation.
Hey, at least let me finish. I have top tips on dealing with belligerent reporters, slipping away to hunt down snacks during the intermission.
Tell me everything.
Lol.
First, take a seat, mon ami. We must partake of Hotel de Boer's fine desserts as we talk, lest they go to waste.
Köstliche Delika... Alter.
Very educational.
Oh, ich würde es nicht als lehrreich bezeichnen. Sie haben in der gesamten Unterhaltung kein einziges Mal über das Schauspiel gesprochen.
I expect most of the people downstairs have left by now. Time to grab my copy of the group photo and get home.
Und wir werden safe wieder belästigt werden.
The photo must be in this envelope right here. It's finally over. Thank you for sticking around for so long. If it
No
wasn't
problem.
for you, I don't know how I would have standby moded my way through the last few hours.
Jeder normale Mensch würde eine Veranstaltung wie diese stressig empfinden, aber das ist das Grund genug dafür, dass Lynette schon zur Halbzeit geht. Was war der eigentliche Grund dafür, dass du nach der Hälfte der Zeit gegangen bist? Also wenn du wirklich nicht darüber reden willst.
It's fine. It's just... It was such a minor thing. While I was on stage, there was a moment when I felt like someone was looking at me. It was only for
Stalker?
an instant, and I didn't even see who it was. But somehow, I knew it was a look of contempt. I got a vague sense of it again during the reception. Like someone was giving me an evil stare. But I couldn't figure out who it was.
Du erinnerst dich an etwas über Lynette. Nur wenige Leute könnten ihre Gefühle vor Lynette aus nächster Nähe verbergen. Wer auch immer es war, muss ein guter Schauspieler sein.
Normally, I'm used to lurking in the shadows on the stage and spying on other people. So, it was strange, feeling like I was the one being spied on this time.
Könnte es etwas mit dem ursprünglichen Skript zu tun haben, das Florina erwähnte. Vielleicht ist jemand neidisch auf dich, weil du die Hauptrolle in deiner ersten Aufführung bekommen hast.
Or someone just took a disliking to me for no real reason. Sometimes you can like one person and dislike another for equally pointless reasons. Anyway, it was just a momentary stink eye, that's all. Nothing for you to worry about.
Crit-Rate, Toscha oder Crit-Damage-Pad? Gut, also wenn du dir keine Sorgen machst, mache ich mir auch keine.
Okay, problem solved. I'm gonna take this envelope and go home now.
Lynettes Briefumschlag. Du herzlose Puppe, du hast dieses Kunstwerk ruiniert, gib die Hauptrolle umgehend ab. Damn, ein Drohbrief?
You have destroyed this work of art. Step down from the leading role at once.
Ist
Based
Crit
on the
Damage.
tone, I'd say threat letter is right.
Du siehst es wenn du ihn aktivierst. Kannst du drüber hovern, der ist dann bei den Buffs. Aber Crit-Rate-Pad gibt Crit-Damage-Pad gibt Block-Durchdringung. Das ist viel ernster als nur ein flüchtiger, böser Blick. Wir müssen der Sache auf den Grund gehen. Gibt es irgendetwas Merkwürdiges an diesem Brief? Was ist im Erdgeschoss passiert, während wir eine Pause gemacht haben? Zum Zeitpunkt waren eine Menge Leute im Erdgeschoss, jeder hätte den Brief in den Umschlag stecken können. Alle Umschläge lagen auf einem Tisch im Erdgeschoss, aber niemand war dafür zuständig, ein Auge auf sie zu haben. Ich könnte die Rezeption fragen, aber wahrscheinlich hat keiner etwas gesehen. Gibt es irgendwas Merkwürdiges an dem Brief? Im unversiegelten Umschlag befinden sich das Gruppenfoto, der Drohbrief und ein paar Schnappschüsse von Lynette aus der Vorstellung. Das war eindeutig für sie gedacht. Der Brief verlangt, dass Lynette die Hauptrolle aufgibt, lässt aber offen, was passiert, wenn sie es nicht tut. Wir beide können die Schrift nicht zuordnen, sie ist krakelig, vielleicht ein Trick, um unerkannt zu bleiben. Oder diese Person schreibt einfach immer so
I
studerig.
don't think we're gonna find any more clues here.
Probably nicht. Sollen wir Merio fragen, was er unter du hast dieses Kunstwerk ruiniert versteht?
Yes, let's. Whatever destroyed means, it could have something to do with the original script that Farina mentioned. Also, I'm gonna have to ask you to stick around a while longer.
Hey, no problem, chick. Chica.
I can't believe how well the whole Lynette's debut acting role thing worked out. Even the avant-garde box office is lapping it up.
How could I ever have doubted you? If you hadn't stuck to your guns and kept sending those invitations, this opportunity would have passed us by.
See, I told you. All the times she'd refused in the past were all the more reason to keep inviting her, because it turns into a big talking point. Can you imagine if you'd gone with Jillian? You'd have been lucky to get half the ticket sales you've ended up with.
True. Well, Jillian still needs to get a few more productions under her belt.
Do you have a moment, Director Mario?
Oh!
Ah, if it isn't the star of the show! We were just talking about you. Oh, and is that the legendary traveler with you?
Yes.
I'm guessing you're here to discuss the show with the director? Oh, you're a talented and hardworking actress, Lynette. It's no wonder you're getting such rave reviews.
Wirkt unnatürlich. Trotz seiner überschwänglichen Worte verrät der Blick in seinen Augen, dass er nicht ganz so begeistert von den letzten neu gewonnenen Ruhm ist.
I'll leave you artists to discuss your work in peace. Mario, make sure you give your star performer and her friend your full attention.
I certainly will. Lynette carries the fortunes of our entire troupe on her shoulders.
Man, was für Schleimbeutel. Wer war das?
Mr. Maloney. An investor or something, I think. I've never asked him.
So, what can I do for the two of you? I'm afraid I'll have to dash soon as I'm meeting some friends from the newspaper. Otherwise, I'd love to stay longer.
Wir wollen dir nicht so viel Zeit stehlen.
We heard that the original script for The Lost Puppet was quite different from the final show. I'm kind of curious to know what the protagonist was like in that version.
Oh, well, this is a surprise. I didn't think you'd be interested in that sort of thing. It's not
Ist sie auch
uncommon for
nicht.
scripts to undergo
Sie
major
wird bedroht, Bro.
changes as they're being brought to the stage. But I'm afraid there's not much to tell you in this case. The protagonist has stayed the same from the beginning to end. A mechanical puppet with a bumbling body but a sensitive soul. A stranger in time who doesn't belong. There's no doubt about it. You are the protagonist, and the protagonist is you. The success of one is the success of the other, and that's what made this show an artistic triumph.
Sorry, you've lost me. Can you put it in plain words?
All right then. Delving deep in the search of core truths is the job of an artist, after all. You shouldn't give your attention to early drafts of the script, Lynette. All it would do is sow confusion where you already have clarity. The current script is the final version because it is the best version, and your performance best brings that script to life. Why, if it weren't for you, I doubt any audience would give our show the time of day.
Wenn alle mit Lynettes Auftritt zufrieden sind, wie erklärst du dir dann diesen Brief?
What letter? Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness.
Destroyed this work of art? Really?
Well, Director Mario, any idea who might have written it?
No. Who on earth would write such nonsense?
Wir fanden ihn in dem Umschlag mit dem Gruppenfoto. Könnte es jemand sein, der an der Produktion beteiligt ist?
Absolutely not. Without Lynette, this show would be over. Everyone's hard work would go to waste. No, there's no way that this is someone from the troupe.
Vielleicht könnte Lynette die Füße stillhalten, bis sich die Wellen geglättet haben.
Yeah, maybe maybe Jillian could fill in for me for a while.
What? No way, out of the question. The protagonist has to be played by Lynette. Jillian can't... She's just not what the audience is looking for.
Damn, was für ein Hater. Ist das etwas seltsam? Marius Blick wandert suchend umher, er senkt seine Stimme.
I've got it. It's a competitor. Yes, this letter must be from a competitor of ours who's trying to get under Lynette's skin. You can't lie low. That's just what they want you to do. The moment you step back from performing, they'll put their rumor mill into overdrive and drag us through the mud. They're just waiting for their chance to kick us while we're down.
A competitor? Really?
Definitely. Those lowlifes. Slander and libel are all their specialties. They drown out the truth with a flood of misinformation. And they stop at nothing once they get riled up.
Du scheinst mit den Methoden sehr vertraut zu sein. Hast du einen bestimmten Verdächtigen im Sinn? Lässt du mal eben hier Twitter?
Fame always seems to attract haters, no matter what you do to try and keep everyone happy. But don't worry, I will get to the bottom of this. Stay strong, Lynette, and keep up the good work on stage. I have to go and meet my friends from the newspapers now, but rest assured, I'll be discussing countermeasures with them.
Gute Nacht, Carlos.
A competitor, huh?
Glaubst du, dass es so ist?
I kinda doubt it. We've dealt with those types before. Usually their goal is to steal our venue for their own show, or to cover up a scandal by planting a story to divert public attention. But at the moment, I don't think anyone's got a reason to do any of that stuff. Let alone pull a stunt like this. A threat letter is quite extreme. Besides, when I felt that evil stare, I'm pretty sure it was coming from somewhere backstage.
Ooh.
So that rules out a lot of people. I'm
True.
actually more concerned about Mariu. When I mentioned Jillian, his reaction was pretty unusual.
Das ist also auch bemerkt.
Especially since Maloney mentioned that the initial plan was to cast Jillian as the lead. Sounds like there was an original protagonist as well as an original script. I should probably go talk to her.
Weißt du, wo sie wohnt?
Yep. She told me she lives in the Fleuve Sandra.
Ich hasse den Fleuve Sandra. Mag das irgendwie nicht.
Lynette? What are you doing? You're not welcome here.
I've been to the Fleuve Sandra plenty of times before. This is the first I'm hearing about me not being welcome.
Things are different around here. You might be used to a crowd of bootlicking morons fawning over you wherever you go, but not down here.
Was für ein Hater.
We know what you are.
Was für eine nervige Stimme.
Morons.
Ich glaube, sie hat ein Hühnchen mit dir zu rupfen.
I don't know. I've never met this kid before.
Gina, stop that. Go home now.
Mit dem Kid gehittet.
No buts. How many times do I have to tell you? That had nothing to do with Lynette. If you don't leave right now, I swear I'll never invite you to one of my shows ever again.
Jillian?
Damn.
Just because Lady Farina speaks highly of you, it doesn't mean you're all that.
Doch, irgendwie schon.
I'm so sorry. Gina's always been a strong-willed child. That's why I never let her visit me at work.
It's okay. I have younger siblings too, so I get it. She's in her rebellious phase, huh? If you let angsty kids get you riled up, they'll drain all your energy. So don't worry. I won't let it get to me.
Well, this situation's a little different in this case, but still, thank you. So, what brings you to the Fleuve Sandra?
Wir sind hier, um dich zu treffen. Können wir uns über die ursprüngliche Hauptfigur unterhalten?
We heard about it from Maloney. He said you were originally supposed to play the lead.
Maloney, huh? Of course he couldn't keep his mouth shut.
Das Spring-Monster bei House-Entry. Du musst ein Haus betreten oder das Haus von einem Freund. Da gibt es einen Hausverwalter-NPC in Flares. Und ja, musst jemanden nennen, der ein Haus besitzt. Ansonsten kostet es 100 Mio.
I'm sorry. I
Ein
never
Haus zu
mentioned it
kaufen.
because Director Mariu was very clear that I mustn't let any of it affect you.
Die Umstände haben sich geändert. Lynette hatte den Brief erhalten.
What's this?
Dun, dun, dun. Sie sieht überrascht aus. Der Absender ist... Achso, in Jillians Gesicht steigen Panik und Zweifel auf. Der Absender ist der Ansicht, Lynette hätte die Aufführung ruiniert. Könnte es irgendwas mit dem ursprünglichen Skript und der ursprünglichen Hauptfigur zu tun haben?
I don't know. Who would do something like this?
Don't be scared, Jillian. Just tell us what you know.
Okay, I'll try. It's true. I was originally cast as the lead in The Lost Puppet. I've worked with director Mariu many times before, but only in minor roles. The audiences and critics never had much to say about me. Nothing terrible, but nothing amazing either. A few months ago, Mariu started working on a new show, so I plucked up the courage to ask him if I could take the leading role.
Ich bin Hupe. Ja, Hupe, das bist du.
He was hesitant, but he agreed to let me try for the part. We did a few rehearsals, everything seemed to be going okay, but then...
There's been a change of plan, Jillian. The leading role will now be played by Lynette.
Lynette? But she always turns these things down, doesn't she?
And that's why we cannot afford to waste this opportunity. Jillian, I understand how you must be feeling. But Maloney and myself have to do what's best for the production as a whole.
Jillian haters.
The lead will be yours. I promise.
I was incredibly disappointed at first, but I also know full well that I don't have Lynette's star power. Without Lynette, how could we ever convince people to pay money to go and see a masked mime show? And if the show was a flop with me in the leading role, how would I answer to the director and the rest of the cast? Then, I got to meet you on stage and found that you're really down to earth, in a way that not many celebrities are. You were kind to everyone, and your performance wasn't bad. Whatever disappointment I had left at that point, I certainly wasn't about to take it out on you.
By wasn't bad, you mean it wasn't great either.
Oof.
So, I'm guessing Mariu changed the script to simplify the protagonist, make her a dumbed-down version of the mechanical puppet that I could actually play.
He did make some changes to the script, yes.
Wie kommen wir an das ursprüngliche Skript? Wer hat das im Moment?
Jaik, one of the other actors.
Who?
He likes to collect Dr. Mariu's old drafts because he hopes to be a director himself one day.
Hupe?
He also lives nearby. I can arrange for you to meet him at the tavern.
Makes sense. I always see him talking to Mariu.
Kühles Blondes mit dem
See
Typen
you at the
Köpfen.
tavern then.
Ein kühles Blondes mit diesem Typen Köpfen.
Take it easy.
Eine Weile gewartet.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Jillian brought me up to speed on the situation. I'm here to help however I can. Here, this is the script you're after.
Es ist sehr skizzenhaft. Sieht aus, als hätte er es fortlaufend überarbeitet. Das ist praktisch
That's
unlesbar.
always the way with pen and paper drafts. Even the final script is full of last-minute changes by the director. There should be a cleaner copy of the original script in here somewhere. Sorry, it's all a bit mixed up. I just grabbed the whole stack of paper since I was in a rush.
No problem. Now activating search mode. I'll go through one page at a time.
Das ursprüngliche Skript untersuchen. Schauen wir mal, wo die Unterschiede zwischen der aktuellen Version von Die verlorene Puppe und dem ursprünglichen Skript bestehen. Oh, 11. What? Verstehst grob den Inhalt? Offizielles Skript beschreibt im Detail, wie die Protagonistin als tanzende Puppe von den Menschen entsorgt wird und beginnt nach dem Sinn des Lebens zu suchen. 15, 20, damn. Easy. Im 4. Akt verliert die Protagonistin ihre Fähigkeit zu tanzen wegen der Abnutzung ihrer inneren Schaltkreise. Eine Anmerkung besagt, ein paar einfache Bewegungen, um die Idee zu vermitteln, reichen völlig. Die Zuschauer werden hauptsächlich das ausgefallene Bühnenbild und die Nebenrollen im Blick haben. Bei den Notizen gibt es auch Zeitungsausschnitte. Sie behandeln verschiedene Arten von Aufführungen, die auf den ersten paar Seiten sind vergeben. Sie müssen sehr alt sein. 20, 25 sogar, damn. Easy. Merios Name taucht in manchen früheren Zeitungsausschnitten auf, aber hauptsächlich in Artikeln, die eine Reihe lauwarmer Empfänge für eine experimentelle Kunstform und leere Sitzplätze bei avantgardistischen Theater trotz akademischer Würdigung beklagen. In weniger lang zurückliegenden Jahren preisen viele Berichte Merio als Regisseur mit Weitblick einen der Großen seiner Epoche. Die Artikel wurden von einer bunten Schar von Autoren aus allerlei Fachgebieten geschrieben, unter ihnen sind Corentin und Amaury die Wortführer. 3 von 5, oh mein Gott. Merios ursprüngliches Skript ist von Änderungen übersät, ist nahezu unleserlich. 15. Der Grund, warum es so schwer zu lesen ist, liegt daran, weil es mehrfach mit Korrekturflüssigkeit überarbeitet wurde. Geschätzt wurde jede Zeile mindestens 3-mal überschrieben. Anscheinend war Merio mit seinen Änderungen nicht zufrieden. Und die älteren Werke untersuchen. Die Manuskripte scheinen Merios ältere Werke zu sein. Einige Fotos von Auftritten sind beigefügt. Alter, schon wieder 20 gezogen. Let's go. Das ist das Höchste, was man sehen kann. Die neueren Fotos zeigen schicke Schauplätze und glanzvolle Kulissen, aber die älteren Bilder enthüllen deutlich bescheidenere Bühnen. Auf der Liste der Ensembles sieht man, dass Merio in den letzten Jahren mit vielen Berühmtheiten gearbeitet hat, deren schauspielerisches Talent jedoch umstritten ist, und Maloney ist als Investor vermerkt. Yes, kannst du, Kuro-san.
She dances until her joints have rusted stiff and mechanical parts are falling from her body. Yep, that's not something a novice could hope to pull off after just a few months of rehearsals.
Die grundlegende Handlung ist die gleiche. Sie verliert ihre Fähigkeit zu tanzen wegen Abnutzung ihrer inneren Schaltkreise, aber unter der Oberfläche sind ganz große Gefühle, die Erinnerungen an ihre früheren Gefährten und Frieden zu finden mit ihrem Leben. Das einfache Bühnenbild und der Soloauftritt bewirken, dass die Hauptdarstellerin die gesamte Szene selbst stemmen muss. Diese Rolle ist deutlich fordernder als im endgültigen Skript.
Frankly, I think that the original script is much better, and the original lead is the best fit. Jillian, shall I go tell Mario to put you back in the leading role?
What? Are you serious? But the next show is at the Opera Epiclese. It's such a huge opportunity.
But not such a rare one for me, though, right?
That's different. This isn't you as part of a magic duo. It's a chance to star as the main character in a show. You'll reach whole new heights of fame.
Fame in small doses has its perks, but too much and I'll get overloaded. But if you play the lead, the fame will be yours, and I get to be free. Sounds like a win-win, don't you think?
It'll never work. There's no way Director Mariu or Maloney would ever agree to it. The set for Act 4 would need to change, as would all the marketing materials. And that would mean asking Maloney for a lot more Mora. Changing actors at the last minute is just too risky. If anything went wrong, it could bankrupt the whole troupe. Plus, Maloney's friends have already published a ton of articles saying how this is the role that Lynette was born to play. No one else can play the protagonist now. If Lynette quit the show and I took her place...
Es würde dem Ansehen dieser Freunde von Maloney schaden, ihre künftigen Artikel würden jegliche Glaubwürdigkeit verlieren.
Lynette left. They'd sooner stop the whole show than let me take her place.
Stop the whole show? But all the people in the troop.
Die Links, die dich interessieren, sind im Chat, Kuro-san.
Would all be for nothing.
Kein Wunder, dass Merio alles versprechen würde, um Lynette an Bord zu behalten. Ihn zu überzeugen, die wichtigste Schauspielerin auszuwechseln, dürfte nicht einfach werden. Ha, lol. Also wir haben 12 schon mal sicher, das heißt, wir müssen mindestens 3 kriegen. Na gut, 29. Easy. Also bei den Links wird alles erklärt im Endeffekt, wie du Charakter registrierst, wie du dich anmeldest und wie du bei Tournaments teilnimmst. Ist eigentlich ziemlich simpel. Musst du nochmal durchlesen. Sind auch Bilder dabei. Den Dokumenten nach zu urteilen scheint es Merio wahre Intention zu sein, dass ich habe eine Idee.
What is it?
Alles, was wir tun müssen, ist folgendes. Du erklärst der Truppe deine Idee.
That's a bold plan. I'm in.
Das ist mein Plan und ich habe keine Ahnung, was ich gesagt habe. Nice.
But it might actually work.
No way. It's not worth taking such a huge risk just for a chance to be in the spotlight.
Jillian, you said before, whatever disappointment I had left, I wasn't about to take out on you. In other words, that disappointment is still there, but you've kept it bottled up inside.
Nee, du kannst einen bestehenden Charakter nehmen.
Be honest. You still hope to play the leading role, don't you?
But the thought of putting so many people out just for my sake?
You think they'd be put out? That's not how I see it.
Jillian, you were more dedicated than anyone during the rehearsals for the original script. We all saw how hard you worked for this role. And I think you know that unless we decide to make a stand here, the path we're on is only going to take us further and further from our dreams, all of us. So take it from me, you would not be putting us out. Not one bit.
Ob der Plan erfolgreich ist, hängt nun von dir ab.
Guys, okay, let's do it. I will play my part.
Sehr gut.
Yes, I knew you'd come around. All right, I'll let the rest of the troop know and we'll start preparing immediately.
Wonderful. This solves everything.
Wait, but what about the threat letter? Do you have any idea who sent it?
Die bislang gesammelten Gem 10 mit? Nee, das sind Tournaments, die immer nur eine gewisse Zeit laufen. Also die bislang gesammelten Gems, die kannst du alle wegschmeißen, die sind wertlos. Du musst dich quasi immer für ein Tournament anmelden und danach 10 die erst.
As long as we stick to the plan, I'll give up the lead role, so it won't matter anymore, right?
But surely you want to know who it's from. If they're out there and no one's keeping an eye on them, what if they come looking for you?
I doubt they will. It's supposed to be a threat, but they didn't even say what would happen if I don't meet their demands. Plus, the handwriting is kinda childish. It doesn't look like a professional intimidator to me. Who knows?
Das ist bestimmt die Tante, die sie vorhin
Maybe
beleidigt
I'm just
hat.
a fan of yours having a moment.
A fan? Of me?
Maybe there's someone out there who really appreciates your talent, even in the supporting roles.
Könnte der Brief wirklich von einem von Jayens Fans kommen? Ach, Junge, 9 von 10. Ich sehe dafür keine handfesten Beweise.
It's getting late. We should be leaving.
So plötzlich?
Come on.
Okay. Führt mich aus der Taverne. Du scheinst etwas zu hören. Du bemerkst beim Verlassen flüchtig ein Schluchzen, das aus einer Ecke dringt.
I'm such an idiot.
Sorry for manhandling you. You looked like you were seconds away from figuring out who sent the letter, so I had to act fast.
Ehrlich gesagt, noch keine Ahnung. Doch, ich weiß es, die nervige Tante.
Jillian's sister.
Yeah.
Just because Lady Farina speaks highly of you, it doesn't mean you're all that.
I'm so sorry. Gina's always been a strong-willed child. That's why I never let her visit me at work.
She's a hater. Professional hating. Farina hat ihre offizielle Kritik zu Die verlorene Puppe noch nicht verlauten lassen. Das spricht dafür, dass Gina sich heimlich gegen den Willen ihrer Schwester eingestichen hat, um mir bei der Arbeit zuzusehen.
I guess she must have snuck into the drinks reception and overheard our conversation with Farina. She idolizes Jillian, both as an older sister and an actress. And she watched as the dream role Jillian had been waiting to play for so long got snatched away from her by some amateur who's never acted before. To make
True.
matters worse, all the critics were hailing this amateur as a perfect fit for the role. And even Fontaine's former biggest star was praising her abilities.
Was so mehr als sie ertragen konnte, sie hat diesen Brief in einem Anfall von Wut geschrieben.
And that pretty much sums it up.
Wirst du sie nicht deswegen zur Rede stellen?
Like I said, getting angry at angsty teenagers is draining. Besides, if it was my younger brother or sister and they found out I'd been treated unfairly or had an opportunity stolen from me, they'd definitely do something far worse.
Das kann ich mir vorstellen.
I was in Jillian's position once. Back when Linny and I were starting out, before we got famous, we just had to take things a day at a time. Doing our shows, slowly trying to build up our reputation. So I can understand Gina's frustration. Still, she could definitely use some pro tips on how to write a threat letter.
Kein Wunder, dass sie so einen Zorn auf dich hat. Sie muss es gewesen sein, die dir den bösen Blick zugeworfen hat, oder?
No, the way she looks at me is indignant, frustrated, but not malicious. Plus, she didn't even try to hide how she felt. Whoever was giving me that evil stare was backstage. Blending into the crowd at a drinks reception is one thing, but trying to blend in backstage, where everyone's on high alert waiting to be called on stage, would be a lot more difficult. We'll find out who it is before too long. In 2 days' time, at the next show, I think it will become very clear. On that note, guess I'll see you at the Opera House. Bye for now.
Kannst du mit Doppelchance mitmachen? Nope, das ist nicht erlaubt. Wenn du das machst, wirst du gebannt von den Tournaments. Darfst nur einen Account Gempion mit einem Char verknüpfen. Und den kannst du auch nie wieder ändern, den Char. Ne? Also überlegst dir gut, welchen Char du nimmst. Aber nee, darf man nicht. Lynette. Warte 2 Tage. Junge, warum muss man immer so lange warten? Während einer Quest, das ist so unnötig. Meine Güte.
Have you ever kept goldfish as pets? They're very...
Kannst du nicht 2 registrieren und nur auf einen dich anmelden? Nee, es geht tatsächlich nicht. Aber was ich gemacht hatte, war, ich habe auch den falschen Char angemeldet und ich habe dann einen neuen Account erstellt und dann kannst du irgendwie deinen Account merchen. Das habe ich gemacht. Also solange du nicht an 2 Tournaments teilnimmst, kannst du schon 2 Accounts machen, aber darfst du nicht mit beiden teilnehmen. Also du wirst in-game auch tatsächlich kontrolliert. Also, solange du mit dem anderen noch nie teilgenommen hast oder nicht teilnimmst, sollte es schon noch gehen, denke ich. Aber ich würde dann den anderen Account löschen. Beziehungsweise probieren, ihn zu merchen. Aber ich weiß nicht mehr, wie das ging, ehrlich gesagt. Wie kontrolliert? Na, die Moderator von Flyth laufen, die Game Master laufen rum. Während den Tournaments. Und gucken. Komm, Game und schau dir zu. Yes. Also nicht die ganze Zeit, aber kann passieren. Hebt sich der Vorhang. Akt 1 in den Ruinen.
That puppet in the middle. Is that Lynette? She's so pretty.
It's starting. Keep your voice down.
Yo, die Protagonistin, eine Tänzerin, wurde in den Ruinen verlassen. Sie vermutet, es liegt an dem Gesundheitszustand ihrer Beine, der ihre Fähigkeit zu tanzen beeinträchtigt, doch dann findet sie die anderen verlassenen Puppen, die genauso aussehen wie sie selbst. Erst da erkennt sie, ihre Krankheit ist nur ein mechanischer Defekt und sie selbst nicht mehr als eine tanzende Puppe.
Wow. I thought it would be hard to follow, but in the end it was actually very clear.
Even though her face was expressionless and she didn't speak the whole time, I felt like I could really understand how the protagonist was feeling.
Oh mein Gott. Manche der mechanischen Puppen glauben an einen Mythos. Am Ende der Welt gibt es einen Puppengott, der Puppen in Menschen verwandeln kann. So beginnen die Protagonistin und ihre Gefährten die Suche. Aber der Mythos ist eine Lüge, verbreitet von jemandem, der nichts als Verachtung für das Puppentum hegt. Am Ende ihrer Reise werden sie entführt, zerlegt, eingeschmolzen und missbraucht. Die Protagonistin half ihren Gefährten zu entkommen, wurde dabei unter den Trümmern eines einstürzenden Gebäudes gefangen. Sie schließt ihre Augen und sinkt in einen tiefen Schlaf.
Director Mariu really is a master of his craft. And so is the actress in the lead role.
I have a friend who saw the show on the opening day. They thought the critics overstated how good it was, but I gotta say, the protagonist is incredible.
Sie wissen nicht, dass beide deine Accounts sind?
Lynette's improved so much. Just wow. I'm speechless. Words simply cannot do justice to the sheer excellence we witnessed from Lynette on stage today.
Naja, also erstens mal können Sie deine IP-Adresse überprüfen, sowohl in-game als auch auf der Website. Also müsstest du mit unterschiedlichen IPs hantieren. Und auch beim Auszahlen mit der Wallet-Address, wenn das immer die gleiche ist von mehreren Accounts, wird da wahrscheinlich auch eine Warnung geschickt, dass das der gleiche Typ wahrscheinlich ist. Also ich sag's einfach, wie es ist, mach's einfach nicht. Ist ja auch unfair gegenüber den anderen Teilnehmern. Und außerdem bei den richtigen Tournaments hast du sowieso keine Chance mit 2 Chars zu spielen. Weil das ist schon schwierig genug, mit einem Char überhaupt ins Ranking zu kommen. Also würde es sowieso nichts bringen. Du schaffst es unmöglich mit 2 Chars ins Ranking von richtigen Tournaments.
Your penchant for the hyperbolic strikes again, Almery. Clearly you weren't at a loss for words when you were writing your article. I saw you hand it to the journalist. Trying to get your critique into the papers the moment the show is over, are you?
Well, you know how it is. The early critics get all the readers. Wouldn't you agree, Mariu?
Nö, du tötest einfach ganz normale Monster. Mehr musst du nicht machen.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Ah, the first half was a huge success. Even I could tell the acting was top tier.
My apologies, Mr. Maloney. Please excuse me for a second. I need to have a little talk with my actors.
Oh, very well. Hey, while you're at it, this might be a good time to talk future collaborations with Lynette.
Ja, Low-Level-Chars nehmen die meisten Leute. Habe ich auch.
Are you guys sure this is gonna work? What if Director Mariu pushes back? We're already halfway there. We can't back out now. All we need to do is stick to the plan.
What is this plan that you're so intent on hiding from me,
Director Mariu, I thought you were talking to Maloney and the critics.
Korantan and Armory have both finished their articles. I went to greet them as a mere formality, but you seem to have availed yourselves of my absence during the first half to defy me. What have you done? Was that really Lynette playing the lead role?
Ja, aber du kannst doch einfach sein Equipment einem niedrigeren Char geben. Oder so. Gut erkannt, Herr Regisseur, du hast das Spiel durchschaut. Neben mir steht die Protagonistin ohne Kostüm.
I was the one playing the lead role just now.
I switched costumes and masks with Jillian so that I could be the protagonist's companion and stay out of the limelight.
Lynette, why on earth would you do this?
You know my acting is amateur. The only reason I'm being seen as a pro, let alone a pioneer, is because you have critics supporting the show.
Aber genau jetzt gibt es da draußen ein ganzes Publikum, du hast keine Chance, sie alle mit Geld zu
If
kaufen.
they'd seen me in the leading role during the first half, they wouldn't be expecting anything more. But what happens now that they've seen Jillian in the role? If you force me to play the lead in the second half, they'll be wondering, why is the actress suddenly giving such an underwhelming performance right at the climax of the whole story?
Alles beindet. Tja, dann Level down, I guess. Ist es, weil sie als Schauspieler nicht gut genug ist, um die Rolle zu spielen, haben sich die Kritiker geirrt.
These are just some of the questions that will be on everyone's minds during the second half.
Ach Mist, es waren unterschiedliche
And those
Auswahlmöglichkeiten.
questions
Ups.
will follow them out the doors of the theater after the show
Rope.
ends.
Glaubst du, die Kritiker werden dann noch Glaubwürdigkeit genießen?
There's only one way for you to save your reputation, and that's to keep Jillian as the lead all the way to the end.
Absolutely not. I'd sooner announce that we're having technical difficulties and need to stop the show. If I keep Jillian as the lead for the second half, what do you think will happen in the curtain call when she takes her mask off? Everyone will see that we've changed actors. What will your fans think? They're only here because of you, and what about all the critics who support you? If we get on the wrong side of them, it'll be the death of the whole show.
Nobody cares, little bro.
Fines to pay for breach of contract. The whole troupe's hard work would go down the drain. Don't you see how much this would cost us?
Chill. Ja, das mit dem Ausziehen ist natürlich blöd, stimmt.
You can't just take a job on a whim, then abandon your responsibility the moment you don't feel like doing it anymore. You're playing games with other people's hopes and dreams.
Warum hatet er so auf Jillian?
You're not being fair to Lynette.
Actually, Jillian, he's half right. I did kind of take this on a whim. But my responsibility here is making sure you get back the role that belongs to you.
And I guess part of that responsibility lies with me, considering I badgered you into accepting the job.
Schau an, wer nun endlich beschlossen hat, sich zu zeigen. Hast du alle deine Requisiten dabei? Also manchmal gehören die Texte zusammen, aber die letzten irgendwie gehören irgendwie nicht mehr zusammen. Vielleicht sollte ich aufhören, alle zu lesen. I don't know. Wie viel man sammeln muss, das kommt immer drauf an. Manchmal wenige, das sind so 10 bis 20, 1-2 Stunden. Manchmal viele, das sind so 30 bis 50, 3 bis 5 Stunden farmen.
Sorry I'm a little late to the show. Work's been keeping me pretty busy lately.
Lenny? What do you want? Do you think you can snap your fingers and make all my problems magically disappear?
That might be a little tricky, but instead, I could make something else magically appear.
Die Hauptdarstellerin? Oh, was ist das?
What's this?
A draft complaint letter, my contract, your legal fees, reimbursement for the tickets, and an advance on the penalty fee for breach of contract. Mr. Mariu, I'm stepping down from the leading role, regardless of whether you choose to cancel the rest of today's show.
Naja, eine gute Quote ist 10 pro Stunde. Also bei 10 pro Stunde bist du gut dabei.
If you do suffer unforeseen financial losses from this, you're free to seek damages as per the contract. And if you want to file a lawsuit, there's a draft here that you can use if you need it.
What? I can't believe this. You're literally handing me a lawsuit against you with a straight face. Of course. All this Mora, it's a pittance to you, isn't it? Must be nice to have the luxury of prior success and fame. Look at us. We're huge stars. One minute we want to go on stage. The next we feel like backing out of the contract. But that's okay. We're famous. We can afford it. You have no respect for other people's work. You're treating other people's hopes and dreams like a big joke. You don't give a hoot how much this show means to other people. You don't even care that the whole production might have to shut down because of you.
You don't give a hoot.
That's not true. I do care. And I'm under no illusion as to how much this show means to you.
Oh, brilliant deduction there. Of course it means a lot to me. This is my show. That's the only reason I asked you to be in it in the first place.
Really? Then why do your eyes tell a different story? The way you look at me, it's full of contempt. Almost as if I've destroyed your work of art.
Es war also tatsächlich Mario. Er ist derjenige, der Lynette gering schätzt.
What? I would never think that.
A couple days ago, I asked some associates to do some digging for me. I was interested to know who else you invited to play the lead apart from Lynette. Surprise, surprise.
Farina?
Turns out that all the other famous actresses you asked either had prior commitments or weren't a good fit for the role. They all turned you down.
And I would have turned you down too, if not for an unlikely set of coincidences.
You didn't send those invitations because you were looking for a better actress than Jillian, but because your investor wanted a big name in your show, right?
Director Mariu.
Es ist sonnenklar, dass Jillian eine ausgezeichnete Schauspielerin ist. Das entscheidende Kriterium, warum, und den besaß sie nicht.
To get Maloney on your side, you chose to make Jillian the understudy, and then look for an opportunity for her to take the lead.
Welche Mobs, welche Klasse? Ranger. Und ich habe einfach gelevelt, basically. Astria überwiegend. Lynette hat deine Einladung tatsächlich angenommen und dass ihr Schauspieldebüt für Aufmerksamkeit sorgen würde, stand außer Frage.
I bet you were torn at first, weren't you? Do you stick to the tried and tested formula? Choose Lynette, use her celebrity to get the critics on your side so that you and your investors can line your pockets?
Or do you choose Jillian, so that you and your longtime collaborator can stage the show of your dreams, the original, unedited version of The Lost Puppet?
Ob du das getan hast, weil du durch deine Investoren unter Druck gesetzt warst oder weil dich das Geld dazu verleitet hat. Letztendlich hast du dich selbst betrogen, indem du Lynette auswähltest. Was für Gear? Cruiser und Dinner Set und Luzagas Bow.
Oh, I didn't betray myself.
You mentioned prior success and fame earlier, but you're a well-known director yourself, with countless works to your name. Wouldn't that make you successful too? Or maybe, deep down, none of your current achievements really count as success to you.
Right now, you have an opportunity to send Jillian onto that stage and perform the second half as you always imagined it, faithful to your original script. Your work would be displayed for all of Fontaine to see in its true, perfect form.
Did you say perfect?
Hast von 1 bis 121 gerade mal 40 gesammelt? Na gut, ich habe keine Amplis benutzt und langsam gelevelt. Wirst du weiterhin einem Ideal von Erfolg nachjagen, das du nicht wertschätzt, aus Kosten deiner eigenen künstlerischen Integrität?
Will you act now before Maloney and the critics can protest and make your dream come true on the stage? And Jillian's dream. In fact, the dreams of the whole troupe.
The whole troupe?
Director Mariu? Actually, most of the money Lenny brought came from us. We all chipped in.
We've worked with you for many years now. Your troupe has been here for you all the way from the empty theaters where we first performed to the Opera House today.
Ich farm nicht mehr aktiv. Naja, nur die Tournaments halt.
We watched as you slowly started down a path you used to despise. The path of powerful connections, drinks receptions, backdoor deals with critics, and collaborations based on fame instead of talent.
But this is just a temporary measure. I did it for the good of the troupe. And besides, this is how the whole industry works. Everyone else is doing it.
Yes, we know. Back when you started, you had to bite the bullet and do these things to keep the troupe afloat. But then what happened? You began to embrace these methods more and more, becoming so reliant on them that every show you put out is overhyped by the media, and every script you write is edited to suit some celebrity's needs. Surely you must have noticed what's happening. While we've been performing at bigger and bigger theaters with each show, the applause is getting quieter and quieter each night, and the criticism from people who've seen the show is growing. Maloney's friends are sycophants. They don't care if the audience is disappointed because the show doesn't live up to their glowing reviews. They praise the things they like and skirt around the things they don't.
Look, I know everyone's using the same promotional tactics, but does that really make it okay?
Die meiste Zeit war ich in Astria, aber jetzt bin ich im Tower.
Well, it's It's just a stopgap solution. As soon as I've made enough Mora, I'll stop. Things will be different next time. I promise.
Next time, huh?
116er momentan.
Next time, you won't use your connections. Next time, you won't pay off the critics. Next time, you'll let Julian play the lead.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. If you make some money once, you'll want to do it again, then again. Slowly but surely, you turn your back on your dreams.
I won't turn my back on my dreams any longer, Director Maryu. Never again.
Marry you. Lol. Heute ist der Tag, es in einer Zeit, deine Träume zu leben. Lol. Wir haben schon 25. Es wird einfach zu 26. Nee, 25.
I had dreams too. Once.
Ich sammle jedes Mal 40 Stück. Nicht jedes Mal. Aber musste ich schon, ja. Dritter Akt inmitten von Trümmern. Es verstrich eine unbestimmte Zeitspanne, ehe eine Gruppe mechanischer Puppen endlich den Schutt beiseite räumte, die Protagonistin befreite und sie reaktivierte. Sie sagten zu ihr, du lagst hier für Jahrtausende begraben. Nun regieren die mechanischen Puppen die Welt. Es stellte sich heraus, dass die Puppen, die den Aufstand angezettelt hatten, niemand anderes waren als die Gefährten der Protagonistin, die sie all die Jahre zuvor gerettet hatte. Die Protagonistin wurde jetzt von einer als Heldin des Puppentums verehrt. Ihre Retter versprachen ihr, jeden Wunsch zu erfüllen, doch sie begehrte nur eine einzige einfache Sache.
Huh. The plot here seems a little different from what the reviews said.
The protagonist wanted to return to the stage, so the puppets replaced all her parts with the latest ones available, built her a grand opera house, and summoned a huge audience.
Dropchance hat nichts mit Paliskis oder so zu tun. Soweit ich weiß nicht, ne?
And in the end, she forgot herself amidst the applause and cheers of her fellow puppets.
Hey, no spoilers! Huh? Wait, hang on, that's not even what's happening. The set has changed back to the one from the first act.
Oh, Archons. Please let this work out.
No need to be so nervous, Director Maryu. We only told you Lynette would be quitting the show to get you to make a decision. We wanted you to believe that this show would have to end after today, no matter what you decided. But in truth, I believe that if we choose our words carefully, there's no reason we can't get Maloney to come around and keep the show going.
Also 1 pro Stunde wäre sehr schlecht. Das wäre nicht gut. Lynette bringt seine Erfahrung darin, Menschen zu täuschen, zum Einsatz. Ihr beide solltet definitiv in Kontakt bleiben.
You really thought this plan through. But I'm not upset about what you've done. What's worrying me now isn't how Maloney will react or whether the show will get cancelled. It's the audience. I've always thought the original script is better, but will it move them like I've always hoped? When Jillian does her curtain call, will they applaud her? What if people only came to see the show for Lynette? And because of the reviews, what if they don't really care about the show at all? It feels like I've been hiding inside my safe little castle for too long. And now...
We're right here with you.
No!
We'll watch it to the
Missklick.
end.
RIP. Aber egal, er hat nur gesagt, er bereut's. War nicht so wichtig. Er hat's eingesehen, dass er ein Trottel war, basically. Die Protagonistin lehnt das Angebot der anderen Puppen ab, ihr neue Teile zu geben und eine prächtige Bühne zu ihren Ehren zu bauen. Sie sehnt sich nun danach, ihre Gefährten wiederzusehen, aber man sagt ihr, dass diese hätten ihr Leben für die Revolution gegeben. Ihre sterblichen Überreste ruhen in den Trümmern, in denen sie sich zum ersten Mal trafen. Einsam begibt sich die Protagonistin zurück zu diesem Ursprungsort ihrer Reise. Dort tanzt sie ein letztes Mal vor den Gräbern ihrer Freunde. Ihre Schaltkreise brennen durch, ihre Bauteile lösen sich und fallen ab, doch sie tanzt unermüdlich weiter, bis sie gänzlich in sich zusammenbricht. Es hat tausende von Jahren gedauert, doch endlich hat sie einen Grund zum Tanzen gefunden.
Wow. Okay, this ending is much better.
I love how they brought back the set from Act 1 and gave it a whole new meaning. What a fantastic twist.
Time for the curtain call. It's the moment of truth. Will the applause continue after I take off the mask? I could always leave my mask on. No one would ever know.
10 ist das Maximum, was du sein darfst. Steht auch auf der Webseite. Da steht auch die Drop-Chance 0,5%. Also maximal 10 drunter oder drüber darfst du sein.
This is what fame looks like when it's truly deserved.
Jillian, you were amazing! Syra was tearing up when you did your final solo dance.
Well, so are you.
Really? I was so nervous. My legs felt like they turned to jelly.
What looked like an actor unsteady on her feet was in fact a poignant expression of the protagonist's frailty in her last moments. Or whatever.
Oh nein, ich kann nicht noch mehr davon ertragen.
Hey, Mario! What the heck was that? Why wasn't Lynette playing the lead?
Our articles are already going to press. You better have a good explanation for this.
It was my...
Hey now, it was all of our...
Hold on. The decision was mine, and mine alone. They had nothing to do with it. If you have any concerns, gentlemen, then please direct them to me.
Marry you? So it was you? Well then, I trust you'll have no objection to me pulling the plug on this production.
Seine schlimmsten Befürchtungen werden wahr, es ist Zeit für den 5. Akt.
Director Mariu, Mr. Maloney, what on earth is going on? Why was Lynette not in the lead role? It took a lot of convincing from me for her to accept the role, and I had to turn down some big work opportunities to come and watch her performance today. You have some explaining to do.
Lenny, it was all his idea. Marry you. Explain yourself.
Wait, Blinny, as a matter of fact, this was a piece of performance art. In this play, the masks and costumes serve to obscure the differences between characters, and by extension, the difference between human and machine.
Ja, 0,5% ist die Chance. Und hat ja damit nichts zu tun. Event-Items haben ja auch eine bestimmte Chance und kannst du trotzdem nicht erhöhen mit Party-Skills zum Beispiel.
We took that idea to the next level with an actor swap, blurring the lines between one performer and the next. So it's in service of the ambitious artistic goals of the production.
What?
It's similar to deceiving the audience in a magic show. We employed this technique as a means of breaking the fourth wall. It allows the audience to more intuitively understand the cognitive dissonance felt by the protagonist as a machine trying to reconcile the notion of her humanity. The audience's experience mirrors the protagonist's own confusion and becomes part of the artistic performance itself.
Hold up. What is this nonsense?
Oh, I see. Well, bravo, Director Mariu. You even had me fooled.
That's probably more because you just don't really understand avant-garde art very well, Lenny.
Maybe so, maybe so. Well, perhaps it went over my head, but I'm sure our experts here saw the whole thing coming a mile away.
You must have worked it out by the end of the first half, surely. Mr. Amory, I just heard that you managed to write your review after just the first 2 acts.
Ich bin mir sicher, dass dies Regisseur Mariu helfen wird, indem es das zukünftige Publikum auf die überraschende Wendung am Ende vorbereitet.
Yes, you're right. Director Mariu and I are old friends. You should have said something. Then I could have played along even better.
Yes, well, to deceive the audience, you must first deceive your closest companions. I have to give credit to Lynette and her experience in performing magic. That's what inspired me to take my art to the next level.
Theoretisch ja, Kuro. Je näher du dann Giant-Level dran bist, desto besser.
You mean your show was partly inspired by Lynette's background in magic? Well, in that case, I'll have to plug it to everyone I know.
Unfortunately, I think Mr. Maloney is going to cancel the show.
Cancel the show? Mr. Maloney, is this true?
While I accept that deceiving the audience in the manner you did certainly has artistic merit, this is not a magic show, and we don't want our audience demanding their money back.
A very valid criticism, and one that I humbly accept. If that happens, we're prepared to reimburse and apologize to any audience members who weren't satisfied with the experience.
Selbes Level ist am besten, ja. Plus minus 3 ist ziemlich gut. Aber in Anbetracht ihrer heutigen Reaktion denke ich, dass es das war, was die meisten Leute sehen wollten. Es ist ein exzellentes Bühnenstück und nicht nur ein Auflauf von Vorzeigeprominenten.
Plus, it looks like Jillian is better than me at delivering the excellence people want to see. I'm sure audiences will be very happy with the show if she's allowed to stay in the leading role.
Mehrere Rezensionen sagten, Lynette habe die Vorstellung des Jahres abgeliefert. Würdest du nicht sagen, für Jillian war es die Vorstellung des Lebens?
Maloney, I believe there should still be time to tweak my article. From the look on Lynette's face, I think she's being sincere.
Oh, one other thing. We managed to get a meeting with Lady Farina earlier. All thanks to the Traveler's reputation, of course. Anyway, she agreed to write a review focusing on Jillian's performance and the quality of the show as a whole. She promised to give her honest opinion. And I'm sure today's audience will be discussing her performance too. There's sure to be a variety of opinions.
Was ist mit dir, Herr Corentin? Wie beurteilst du diese Vorstellung?
Oh, I mean, art at its finest, clearly. But I'll have to give it some thought before I decide exactly what to write.
Oh, of course. Always good to put some thought into these things. Especially now, with a growing range of voices out there. I imagine competition for readers becomes more fierce when everyone's discussing the topic.
Corentin, Amory, let's go.
Und GZ Mohi. Grüß dich rein. Alter, Junge. Wie zur Hölle, wenn wir das so schnell lesen können.
Thank you both so much. Without the two of you, who knows how much further down that cynical path I would have gone. I always told myself that once I'd made enough Mora, I'd get back to doing what I loved. But somewhere along the way, I started to lose sight of what that was. Just like those critics with their dishonest reviews, I became all about the trappings of success, at the expense of the art itself.
Wenigstens bist du rechtzeitig zur Besinnung gekommen. Und hinter dir steht eine fantastische Truppe talentierter Leute.
All right. Yes, I'm a very lucky man. Anyway, enough about my problems. What are we going to do about the threat letter that Lynette received? I've been looking into it a lot over the past couple of days, but it doesn't seem like it was one of our competitors after all.
Ah, yes, about that.
Lynette, do you have a moment?
Also was ist doch.
Wait, you're Jillian's sister, right?
I'm sorry. Gina insisted on coming to see Lynette. I couldn't stop her.
Lynette, I'm sorry!
Ja, mein Ranger hat Christmas Dinner 2015. Schmuck, by the way. Das mit 3000 Zusatzschaden als Set-Effekt. Lynette hat mir gerade einen Blick zugeworfen. Ich glaube, sie ist unsicher, welchen Modus sie in dieser Situation aktivieren soll. Unwissenheit vortäuschen, wovon redet sie? Ich habe keinen Schimmer. Weil man hätte nicht verlieren können.
Yeah, me neither.
Wait, but...
Oh, do you mean when we ran into you at the Full of Sandra? And you said some mean things to me? As I recall, you were only trying to look out for your sister. It was just a few words spoken in anger. Don't worry. Whatever it was you said, I've already forgotten.
Oh. I see. Well, it sounds like Gina knows what she did was wrong. Owning up to your mistakes and committing to do better in the future is what counts.
I understand that feeling of wanting to stand up for your family when they're being mistreated. Really, I do. But next time, maybe consider a different tactic? Something you can pull off more effectively and without arousing suspicion.
Nicht ganz 10 mehr, nicht ganz One-Shots, aber ja. Nur das genügt, hör auf, sie auf törichte Gedanken zu bringen.
Got it.
Bruh.
Thank you, Lynette.
Why do I feel like I'm missing something here?
Hey, here you are. I was wondering where you'd all run off to.
Great! Everyone's in one place. That makes this so much easier.
Nanas gut, für Ranger nicht, ne? Was ist los?
What do you think? It's group photo time! We have to commemorate the debut of the Lost Puppet Director's Edition. Okay, everyone, we all have pretty awkward smiles on our faces in the photo from Hotel de Boer, so this time, no forced smiles allowed.
Oh, am I really not allowed to force a smile?
Fällt dir das Lächeln schwer?
I'll try, I suppose. I think I can manage.
Lynette, Traveler, come on! You two should be right in the middle.
3, 2, 1, smile!
Damn.